Now there is another part of fundamental theorem, that's called part 2, fundamental theorem part 2, which is basically the evaluation theorem, because it is used to find out the value of the integral from a to b. And it is very simple. Let f be integrable on a to b. If there is a differentiable function capital F on ab such that f prime is equal to f, then integral fx dx from a to b will be f of b minus f of a. So basically this theorem says that suppose I have to find this integral from 0 to 1 dx by x square plus 1. I can use the method of taking it as limit of sums, the long method, or a very simple method I can use, that I should find a capital F of function whose differentiation is equal to this thing. Once I have found that function, you find the value of that function f at upper limit minus f at lower limit. So you see in this thing, tan inverse x is a function whose differentiation is equal to 1 by x square plus 1. This is there. So this integral will be tan inverse 1 minus tan inverse 0 is equal to pi by 4. Very simple. Now you can say that this function f is not unique. Yeah, this is not unique. Why? Because I can take 1f. In this case also I can take tan inverse x as one of my capital F. Some other boy can come and some other student can say that, okay, why take tan inverse x? Let's take tan inverse x plus 19. Very true, he can take this also. But this constant will not make any difference. Why? Because when you do this minus, upper limit minus lower limit, this 19 will cancel out. So this f is not unique, but that does not make my life difficult, because ultimately when I subtract f of b minus f of a, this constant also gets subtracted. So this is the second part of fundamental theorem. Now let's see some solved examples how to use the first part for finding differentiation of integral functions. Suppose I have given fx equal to integral a to x t cube plus 1 dt. What will be f prime x? You differentiated this. For differentiation using first part of the fundamental theorem, what I will get? T cube plus 1 will become x cube plus 1, and this is x. So this is very simple. F prime x equal to x cube plus 1. Let's take second example. This integral is from x to 5. Now you see there is a catch here. I have used my fundamental theorem using this, that lower limit is a and upper limit is x. But here the lower limit is x, but there is nothing to worry. I can interchange the limits and take a minus sign. So this will become d by dx this thing. This will be d by dx minus 5 to x. Now I can use fundamental theorem on this thing. I will get minus will come out. 5 to x will be minus 3x sin x. So this is second example. Let me show you some more examples. Yeah, this one. In this I have made one more modification. Instead of x, we are having the upper limit as x square. So it is fx equal to 1 to x square cos t dt. I can use my chain rule. I can use the substitution. Let's take u is equal to x square. So this will become x is equal to 1 to u cos t dt. Now I have to find f prime x. So using chain rule, this will be df by du into du by dx. Okay. Now what is f prime x will be d by differentiation with respect to u will be 1 to u cos t dt. So using fundamental theorem of calculus, this thing will become cos u. Now what is du by dx? Du by dx is x square is 2x, so it will become 2x cos x square. This is also very simple. I have just used chain rule and this method of substitution, because my upper limit was not equal to x, it was x square, and this is a function of x. Let's see fourth example. Yeah, in this again the function is somewhat different. Fx is integration from 1 plus 3x square to 4. So first of all I will interchange the limits, so I will get a minus sign. After that what I have to do, this is my upper limit, so I will have to differentiate this thing using chain rule. This will become minus 1 by 2 plus e to the power, instead of t I will write this thing, whole this thing 1 plus 3x square. Now I differentiate this thing, I will get 3x square will become 6x. So answer will be minus 6x divided by 2 plus e to the power 1 plus 3x square this thing. So you can see this is you can have many variations of this problem. So there is another theorem also in which these variations are taken care of, and that is called Leibniz rule. Suppose your lower limit is also variable function of x, and upper limit also is a variable function of x, and you have to find out the differentiation, that is d by dx from integral limits from ux to vx ft dt. Then what you do, instead of t you write here f of vx, then you differentiate this thing, then you do minus of f of ux du by dx. This is called Leibniz rule, that if f is continuous on AB and if ux and vx are differentiable functions of x whose values lie in AB, then this is the derivation of this formula. This theorem also is simple. I have to find out d by dx ux vx ft dt, then I do d by dx. When I integrate this will come out at f of vx minus f of ux. Now apply chain rule, this will become f prime vx into dv by dx minus f prime ux into du by dx. So this is the thing, f prime vx will be f of vx into dv by dx minus f prime ux will be f of ux into du by dx. Yeah, and using this Leibniz rule, let me show one example. Yeah, this one. I have to find d by dx integration x to 2x 1 by 1 plus t square dt. So this is x to 2x. I can write it this way also, from integration from 0 to 2x minus 0 to x. I can use this method also by breaking. So this I will get 0 to 2x will become 1 by 1 plus 2x square 2 minus 1 by 1 plus x square 1. So this will be the answer. So I have used breaking of this integral from x to 2x into two parts. Directly I can get this formula using this. How? You see, f of vx will be 1 plus 2x square and dv by dx will be 2. Similarly, f of ux is x here, so 1 plus tx square will become 1 plus x square, and this x is differentiation of x is 1, so this will become 2 by 1 plus 4x square minus 1 by 1 plus x square. Now let's do some examples. Let f be a function defined from R to R, that is real number to real number, be a differentiable function with f of 1 is equal to 4 and f prime 1 is equal to 10. Find the value of this thing. This is a question of JEE 1990. First of all, in this question you will have to realize that I have done my integration over the symbol t. So this is t is the dummy variable. So this x minus 1, this x is a constant. This is a basic step in this problem, so I can take it outside. So when I write this, it will become limit x tending to 1 and everything will be common, and this will become 1 minus 1 divided by x minus 1. When you integrate 2t dt, you will get integration of 2t dt is t square. Now upper limit is fx, so it will become fx whole square minus 4 square. So this will become 4 square. So I can write this as limit x tends to 1, 1 by x minus 1, fx whole square minus 4 square. And what is 4? 4 is equal to f of 1. So, and using the formula a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b, I can write this thing as limit x tends to 1, fx plus 4 into fx minus 4 divided by x minus 1. Okay, now this fx plus 4 limit when x tends to 1, it will become f1 plus 4. What is f1? f1 is 4, so this will become 4 plus 4 8. Okay, so it will become 8 into, now this thing will be limit x tend to 1, fx minus f of 1, because 4 is f of 1, divided by x minus 1. Now this whole thing, what is this whole thing? This is nothing but f prime 1. So what is f prime 1? F prime 1 is 10. So answer will be 8 into 10, 80. Okay, let's see another problem. This problem is okay. We have to find limit of this thing 1 by x plus 6, 0 to x square, t square dt by t plus 6 plus 1. Now since this is of the form 0 by 0, why? Because the moment you take your x as 0, this integration from 0 to 0 will be 0 and this x plus 6 will be 0. So I can use L'Hopital rule. So once I use the L'Hopital rule, I will have to find differential coefficient of the numerator and of the denominator. In order to find differential coefficient of this thing, I can find using fundamental theorem of calculus, and that will be x. Now this t square, so wherever t is coming, I will have to put up x square. So this will become x square whole square divided by x to the power square 6 plus 1 Okay, and now this x to the power 6, when it is differentiated, I will get 6x to the power 5. So this will be there. Now since this is x square, so I will have to put up a 2x also. Okay, now you solve this. This is x to the power 4 and this x. So what it will become? X to the power 5. So this x to the power 5, I can write it as 2x to the power 5 divided by 6x to the power 5 divided by x to the power 12 plus 1. This and this I can cancel, so I will get 1 by 3 x to the power 12 plus 1. Now this thing I have to find limit x tends to 0. This will be 1 by 3. Okay, let's see another problem. Yeah, this is J98 problem. It says is the integration from 0 to x ft dt is equal to x plus integration x to 1 t ft dt. Find value of f of 1. Now since in this question it has been given in terms of integration, the best approach is to use fundamental theorem and differentiate it. So when I differentiate it, I will get f of x. This is the differentiation of LHS. Differentiate x, you will get 1. Now since this is x to 1, I will have to write it in terms of 1 to x t ft dt. So when I differentiate this thing, I will get minus x f of x, because t ft, wherever t is there, I should write x. So this is there. So this will become 1 plus x. I bring this x fx this side will become fx equal to 1. So fx is equal to 1 by 1 plus x. So f of 1 will be 1 by 2. Now let's see another problem. Okay, now this problem is J97. d by dx fx is equal to e power sin x by x. Find a possible value of k for which this happens. Now in this question you see you have been given in terms of e to the power sin x square, and this thing you have been given in terms of e to the power sin x. So it's better to convert this sin x square in terms of sin x. So let's say that x square is equal to u. Then what I can write? 2x dx will be equal to du. Now use this thing will become x square is equal to u. So when I am using the u variable, this x square will become, that u will become 1. Upper limit will become 4 square 16. Okay. Now this is 2. E to the power sin x square will become e to the power sin u. Okay. Now you say dx. If I take x dx, it will be du by 2. So here what I do, I multiply x in denominator also and x in numerator also. So I get x dx and this x square will become u. So and this 2 I can bring, this x dx is here. So this will become 1 to 16. 2 e to the power sin u. This x square is u, so it will become u. X dx is equal to du by 2, so this will become du by 2. Now this 2 and this 2 I can cancel. So let's remove these two so that I don't have to worry about these two. So what is this? E to the power sin u du. This is exactly same as this thing. So once you integrate this thing, you will get the same thing. So this I can write as, this will be equal to f to the power f16 minus f1. So value of k will be 16. Why this is equal to f16? Because it has been given, you see, e to the power sin x by x du is equal to d by dx f of x. So basically the second part of fundamental theorem of calculus, what does it say? Suppose I have to integrate any function. Here I have a function in terms of e to the power sin u by u. Then the basic idea of second part is, you give me a function f whose differentiation is equal to this thing. So I have been given a function f whose differentiation is equal to e to the power sin x by x. So I have to find value from 1 to 4. Since it was x, it was 1 to 4. Now it has become u, so it will be 1 to 16. So the answer will be f16 minus f1. So k will be 16.